So you're in the market for one of these, a Scatpack, and you're wondering, is it worth the investment? Will I have the car for a long time? Does it make it past 50, 100, 150,000 miles? All of that good stuff, right? You know you're gonna spend about 50,000 or more, so you want the answers? Let's talk about it. What is going on, YouTube? I am back with another video, and you can see I have the charger in the background. And before we go any further, man, I have gotten so many questions. I've gotten drug in my comments, all types of stuff. Why would you get rid of the 1320 for that and this, and why'd you this, and all sorts of stuff I can't even think, right? One, this is not my car, right? If you guys watch the video, you guys know this is my girl's car. No, I'd never get rid of the 1320 for a Scatpack, let alone another Dodge, right? I do not own a Dodge. You guys will see what is going on. If you watch my last video, you will see what is going on, right? But we have a 70,000 mile update. Yes, this car has been driven a lot since the beginning of January of 2020. It's a 3-year-old car, 3.5 year. It is what it is, right? You buy these cars to drive them. I hate people who drive them, put them up for like 6-7 months, drive them, put them up. I get it, you want your car nice, but again, these cars are meant to be driven, and let's talk about it. You guys know what to do. Everything 1320 happens right here, and let's go. So first things first, this is a 2020 Dodge Charger Widebody Scatpack. Now, if you guys know, this car was wrapped, all right? So I wanna go ahead and point out there is still glue marks here after I took the wrap off. But if you know, you're not supposed to use alcohol. These planes are crazy today. You're not supposed to use alcohol. It'll actually soften the paint and cause more damage, right? But the first thing I want to talk about is, for a 70,000 mile car, it held up pretty well. Now, there's some small dings here and there. Yes, the car was wrapped for about 1.5 years, or about half its life. So yes, wraps do protect the paint, but you can tell small little dings. Again, it was a daily driven car, right? I think I have one headlight fogged up right now, but it's for another issue. But overall, again, you can see the glue, right? Overall, look at this. She swears she can drive better than me. But overall, the car held up very, very well. There's not many chips. There's not many door dings. Again, the normal wear and tear of these cars. So again, for me, 70,000 miles on a car, and it still held up very, very well. Now, to me, this is an aggressive looking car. Again, it's meant to be driven. It sounds very, very nice. For some reason, hers sounds way different than my last Scatpack, but that's for another video. Obviously, you can see I have my tag on it, all that good stuff, right? But overall, again, I think the paint held up well, especially for an American-made car. So for me, I think the small things like here, there, and again, you saw those small dings up in the front. Other than that, the car held up pretty nice. So some of you may be asking, with it being at 70,000 miles, what's needed to change? What are you having to add to it? What were the maintenance costs? All of that good stuff, right? So if you look at it, every about 3,000 to 5,000 miles, you're looking at an oil change, right? If you take care of your car. So for me, it's about 15 to 20 oil changes right there, and your average oil change runs between $60 to $120, depending on if you do it yourself or you take it to the dealership. You can do the math on that. Secondly, all right, brakes and tires, you're gonna run through them pretty quickly. You obviously know she is the queen of sliding, so she's been through plenty of tires and brakes and everything else. And it is also time for her to switch out her rotors. Yes, that is something that Dodge actually requires at 70,000 miles. If you have the Uconnect app, it'll pop up. And then also, she needs her active dampening system reset or replaced. Again, how you treat the car is how the car treats you. But again, it's meant to be driven that way. You can't be mad at it, right? Outside of that, everything else has been pretty easy. There hasn't been a water pump issue, no engine issue, no engine failure, no check engine light. And for a Dodge, that's pretty good. You guys know the transmissions are normally pretty weak, knock on wood, right? But overall, I think this is the best car that you can buy, or best bang for your buck, I should say, especially for the horsepower. And I would definitely say, if you're in the market, 70,000 miles, 3 years later, it's still running new. 70,000 miles on an interior in 3 years of driving, what does it look like? So yes, she does have the base model cloth seats in here. I think when these came out, I think she was pretty early on, so I don't think they had the options that you do now. But you can see that the seats held up pretty nice, you guys. Of course, there's going to be some stains here and there, you guys. It needs to be cleaned up. But overall, again, no crazy scratches, nothing on the dash, no cracks on the dash. The car, again, held up super nice, man. Again, stains from Lord knows what, right? But again, car just needs to be clean, to be honest. Leather steering wheel held up pretty nice. Only thing I can say is this started to crack, man. I don't know. This is the only Dodge I've ever seen crack. But other than that, you guys, it has held up pretty nice. The second main question that I've been asked is, what is the drivability like after 70,000 miles? Did it loosen up? Do you feel like it's not, you know, or it doesn't have the same oomph behind it, the same kick? And to be honest, going into a stock Scatpack from what I've driven and what I drive, it's kind of hard to tell you guys, honestly, right? Because I get into this and it's very, very slow to me, right? That's not knocking a stock HELLCATs, anything like that. But the car that I had was very, very fast. So for me getting into this, it's very hard to differentiate how it was before versus now. Again, I've only had the car for about a year and a half, or been able to drive the car for about a year and a half. But to me, when I take you guys on a ride, go through some of the drive modes and see, does it still hit the same, right? Yes, you're always going to be able to spin the tires on a 485 horsepower car, right? Simple, easy, self-explanatory, right? But from the time that she bought it to now, is there a difference? You'll have to ask her. To me, since I've been driving it for the last 6 months or so, it hasn't changed. It still rides smooth. I think hers is a little bit stiffer than mine as far as in eco mode and stuff like that. I do not have eco mode in my 1320. It's either drag or normal. So there are a few modes that help with that. So let's dive in the car and let's see what's going on. All right, you guys, so 70,000 miles on a car is actually not that bad. I've seen a lot of these cars get up into the 100, 150,000 miles. But most people actually get rid of it before then. So it is rare to see a 70,000 mile Scatpack or higher. But again, that means it's been driven, it's been well taken care of. And again, to have no issues is crazy. So we're gonna go through the drive modes, see if there's anything that sticks out to me. We're gonna start with eco and work our way up the track. Let's go. First things first, like I said, you guys, she does need her active dampening suspension system replaced or reset. Sometimes just taking the battery off will help reset it. It comes from sliding and all that good stuff. So don't worry, we're gonna start out in eco mode. And again, I think that's for your regular Scatpacks. I'm not sure if the TAs still have it or not, but again, my 1320 did not have this option, or even these SRT pages. I had Demon pages, which was a lot different than this. But we're gonna start out in that and then go straight to track, because you guys know sport is pointless, right? But let's drive around a bit. So the first thing I noticed while driving in eco is when you do get on the gas, there is that slight delay from the MDS. Obviously, you guys know, I think it shuts down 4 cylinders and it helps you with gas. So long, see what I mean by stiff. Helps with those long travels or long trips to again have the best miles, or miles per gallon, best gas mileage, whatever, right? Still has the same sound. I believe in eco this car pops a little bit harder, but that's my opinion, right? Again, I haven't been driving it that long. My car popped and snapped and all types of stuff on every downshift. This one is just a tad bit different, right? And it's Monday. I don't know what time it is. Probably like 2. There's so much traffic. It's crazy. We're gonna drive around a little bit in eco. I'm driving track, and we'll go from there. Bear with me. Turn it out, right? Yeah, there is a huge delay, and it just doesn't hit the same, man. See, speaking of the devil, she is calling me right now. All right, you guys, I'm back. I'm about to switch over to track, and instantly you definitely feel a little bit of a shake, or like a transition, I should say. And you can definitely spin the tires. Again, it takes off traction control, gives you power from all 8 cylinders. Definitely a huge difference, but you're also gonna use definitely more jumpy too. And I'm acting like I've never been in a Scat before. I don't know why, but I'm trying to give you guys the real kind of aspect to this car. for me, this is what you're obviously gonna slide is in track mode with all the stuff off. And I think this is the best way to drive a Scatpack. Again, you're opening up all 485 horses. And again, at 70,000 miles, this being that jumpy, I'll take that, man. Again, a $50,000, $60,000 car. You'd expect it to last this long, number one. And then two, hold the horsepower. Now, there are some things off of my car that off of my car that she now has. So, you know, it'll definitely help the car a little bit at that aspect. But I think 70,000 miles, man, you know, I think it's done well. I'm gonna tell you what I hate and like about the car, dislike and like about the car, especially after 70,000 miles. I'm gonna get parked and let's get to it. Now, I told you guys I would let you guys know what I like and dislike about the car. And I'm gonna keep it pretty simple. One, I don't like from the factory that non-wide bodies come with like 275s. Wide bodies, of course, come with 305s. Most people come to purchase 315s or, you know, something like that, right? I think the tire setup is just not safe for the amount of horsepower, no matter which car you're in. Two, obviously, gas, you guys. You're gonna pay a lot of money in gas if you daily drive this. But again, that's something that you need to know, especially if you're in the market for one and know that you're gonna keep it for a long time. Gas is expensive. There's no way around it, you guys. It comes with the territory, right? Three, I hate that I see these everywhere, right? I think that's why Mopar has gotten such a big customization world and a modded world, because there are so many. There was a lot of opportunities for people to create mods, have different cars, which is cool. But again, you see a lot of these on the road, right? Three, that was three. I'm tired, it's hot, you can tell. First thing I like is this is the best horsepower per dollar that you can get from the dealership that's under $100,000, right? HELLCAT, Scatpack, doesn't matter. Best horsepower per dollar that you can get. Two, the car looks aggressive, right? It looks its part. Dodge has done an amazing job at kind of staying ahead of the game as far as speed, power, and looks. Now, they don't update the car as far as looks often, but again, it has been an aggressive car for a long time. Three, the options that you can get with this car is crazy, right? I do think the dashes and stuff like that could be a lot better, but with the amount of options as far as rims, interiors, suede, leather, all that good stuff, you have options if you order a car. I think it's pretty top notch for an American made car. And then again, I think added to that is the amount of mods that you can do to them is crazy. So those are what I like and dislike. You guys, $70,000 on a Mopar isn't that crazy, but it is rare to see, man. I think the car is 100% worth it. If you're in the market for it, go get one. I promise you won't regret it. But outside of that, you guys know everything 1320 happens right here, and it's hot. We're out of here.